Well, this week's hometown hero calls Shawno home along with his family. He enlisted in the U.S. Army when we were at war in Afghanistan.
And for those of us who remember that in real time, the Taliban was a relentless enemy. And you know, Mike Hagel admits he knew that too. But he never expected the depths his service would take him. And then it was a new battle to resurface and build a life with his family.
When I'm in the water, you're weightless. And a lot of that joint and muscle pain can kind of disappear when you're under the water. And mentally, it's quiet. It's a completely different world that you get to explore.
The calm U.S. Army veteran Mike Hagel finds in scuba is a far cry from the torment of a military career cut short by a combat injury during the war in Afghanistan.
I knew there was a war going on, and I knew that I could go overseas at any time, and I knew that I could have went there, not got a scratch, and came home, or I could have went there and not come home. And it was just something that I accepted when I enlisted and raised my right hand.
Originally trained in Germany as a cavalry scout to provide intel to American commanders on enemy movements, his first deployment was with the infantry.
We were doing a big push through the area we were at, try and push the Taliban out.
It was when he jumped in as a Mark 19 gunner with a quick reaction force to offer backup to fellow soldiers in trouble that his path changed dramatically.
Crossed over a little creek bed, and next thing I know, it was boom, and I came to with smoke and dust all over, and the people behind us were pulling my buddy out. The Terp came out, my team leader came out and fell over, was unconscious.
Looking back now, he mistakenly wrote off his shrapnel injuries as part of the job and quickly redeployed.
They needed more bodies, and I just kind of felt like I needed to go back. Like there was more I needed to do, in a sense.
But he told me at the end of that second deployment, his body broke down.
Then all of a sudden, I just could barely do sit-ups.
Was that frustrating to have to end your military career like this?
I wish I could have kept going with it the way I wanted to. I had a lot of things I wanted to do and a lot of opportunities that were there prior to me getting injured. And then once I got out, it was a downward spiral. The time overseas just kind of started getting to me, so, you know, the drinking got really out of control. Got into a lot of trouble there.
His relationship with the mother of his first child became a casualty.
And I just fell back into a hole. Started drinking a lot again, doing a lot of dumb things that I shouldn't have been doing. And then I met my wife.
Fast forward, Mike and wife Haley are now raising 5 children, including twins and a newborn who Haley brings to scuba class as a show of support. This sport allows Mike the space he needs as he continues to traverse what he later discovered was a traumatic brain injury, or TBI.
And I got the answers I needed to get a weight off my chest, you know, like I was able to breathe. You know, that was that rung of the ladder that I needed to get up out of to take a breath, and it just changed the course of my life.
As it turns out, 2 other hometown heroes have a lot to do with Mike and other veterans taking the plunge. That's in part 2 next Friday here on Local 5.